Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cat on Point. Hi, guys. It is Saturday morning, and I want to give you a little rundown on what I've been doing. I caught a cold from my kids, so I had to be quiet for the last 3 days or so, and I'm a little hoarse still right now. But I want to talk to you about something that's pretty important, and that is the points and how this whole thing works and how this is going with my calorie count. If you want to watch the rest of the video after we chat, that's great. I have all the days of meals that I have been keeping since I have seen you last. So everything is there. Every last jot and tittle is there. And I have been staying on my plan, my program, my calorie count cutting. And if you're just joining us, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. What I'm doing now is I'm using the WW app to track my points, but I'm also counting calories. I'm trying to make a deficit. And according to the calorie calculators, I am supposed to be having about 1850 calories a day for maintenance. So what I've decided to do was stagger my days. Some days I cut 500 calories. The next day it'll be 250, and so on and so on. And then that way I hope to see a nice little reduction on the scale next time I go up. Now, it seems to be working very well. But what I'm doing is I thought when I started this that I was going to see on my cut 500 calorie days, every 500 calorie cut day was going to be a massively reduced number on my points, right? The first day I did that, I think I really zeroing in on 0 point foods and I saw I didn't get a blue dot because I was like so low on my points that day, and I thought, oh, this is the way it's going to be. Not so at all. My points are all over the place, and it does depend on my food choices. However, a lot of my food choices are good choices. I'm not trying to cut my calories by being on a Twinkie diet, which a lot of people will say you can lose weight on a Twinkie diet as long as you are in a deficit. I do believe that's true. It's not the healthiest diet. It would be a terrible diet, I think, in my opinion. Lots of saturated fat and trans fats causing heart disease or whatnot. I really don't think it would be good. But yes, I do believe as long as you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. And that might be on a Twinkie diet, right? But anyway, but I haven't been on Twinkie diet. I've been on a whole food, high fiber, high protein, you know what I mean, for the most part, diet. So at the same time, my points are just they don't seem to reflect my calorie intake is what I'm saying. Okay, case in point. Yesterday, I thought I would splurge a little bit. Haven't done it all week. I thought, you know what? Kids want to go out on a Friday night. Let's take them to Dairy Queen. We're all feeling better, right? My favorite thing to get at Dairy Queen is a small chocolate dipped cone. A small chocolate dipped cone is 18 points. Okay, I saved so many calories during the day, and I had about, 840 to spend for dinner and an ice cream. So at dinner, all I had was a 3-ounce piece of salmon at home that I prepared myself with no added fat and a cup of salad. I had tons of calories left for an ice cream cone, so I could enjoy it. Now, I went out and got the ice cream cone, and I added my points in beforehand, so I knew exactly what I was doing. But a bit of a bummer because after doing, very well in order to incorporate the ice cream into my life that day, my points went up to 32. Now I get 23 for the day. However, my calories said that I had like almost 200 left over for the day. I was shooting for 1,600 that day. And so the ice cream totally fit in with my calories, but I was super over on my points. So I'm looking at this going, if I was not counting the calories, and if I didn't know for a fact, beyond the doubt, that this ice cream totally fits in with what I'm doing, there's nothing wrong with it, I'm still in a deficit, I would have just looked at the points and I would have felt like a failure that day. And I would have said, wow, I messed it up. Maybe I can do better tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow would have come and I would have said, well, I already messed it up so bad yesterday. Here comes the weekend. I might as well enjoy the weekend and do whatever I want and not track it. And then I'll just start again on Monday. And I thought, this, the way the points looked, would have been so misleading had I not known really what I was taking in. And I think that's why sometimes people who are just looking at the points will say, and myself included, many times when I wasn't looking at the calories, I felt like I went hog wild with my points, but I hardly gained anything. That might have been because you were actually still in your deficit or your maintenance calories and didn't realize it. But the points looked like you were all over the place. So what I'm saying is I am not seeing a direct correlation with the calories that I'm taking and the points that are showing up. So I looked into this a little bit more and I thought, how does Weight Watchers calculate these points? Now, unless I'm wrong, and that's totally plausible for me to be wrong on either my math or this information, I found out that, the Weight Watchers will assign pretty much 50 calories for 1 point, and 12 grams of fat would equal 1 point. And so if that was true, the ice cream that I had, which was 320 calories, should come up to about 6.5 points, 6.4 or something like that. And if I added in an extra point for the fat, that would be about 7.4. And let's throw in an extra one because it was 13 grams of fat. That's, over and above. That still would have brought me up to like 8.5 points. That's still not 18 points, which they attribute to that ice cream. So I'm wondering, how then are they giving that many points to the ice cream? And I thought before I looked at the points, I just figured that maybe they were assigning more points over and above to those foods that maybe they wanted to discourage you from incorporating into your diet. But that wouldn't make sense if it was based on a system, right? Because that's more subjective. So I'm a little bit confused as to how this is looking in terms of points versus the calories, because it doesn't always coincide. It doesn't reflect the calories that I'm having. If I'm in a deficit, I should see a deficit in my mind. I should see a deficit on the points, but it's obviously not working that way. So it can be a little bit confusing. So anyway, I'm trying to work that out in my mind. I think at this point, if I had to choose one at this point that was more accurate to lead me, I'm still going to continue to do both. But right now I'm thinking if I had to choose one, I would go with the calories because that's more accurate and that gives me more freedom to work in the foods that I want in the amounts that I need to add them in with a clearer picture of what I'm having. And therefore, I feel like I'm more in control of how it's going to affect my body. So I'm going to continue, like I said, to do this experiment for the sake of getting more information and complete information, continue to keep my WW app. But just want to let you know what was going on in my mind. And if you've done this, have you found the same thing? Has it been confusing to you at times? Please give me any helpful information down below so we can discuss this a little bit more. I'm really eager to find out as much as I can about how this works and why it is looking this way. But anyway, just wanted to update you. I will show you what I've been having over the last 3 days or so. And I hope on the next Weigh-In Wednesday, I'm going to see another cut, another drop on the scale. So, okay, guys, love you a lot. Thanks for listening. Okay, so my breakfast is the 1 egg and the 2 egg whites, and then my oats, half a cup of dry oats, old-fashioned. I have 1 whole apple total because I keep half of it for crunch on top, and then the other half I cook in the oats. A tablespoon of chia seeds, right? And then I've got some of this brown sugar swerve on top, about a cup, I think it's 1.5 tablespoons. And then I have 2 tablespoons of this nut pod creamer on here. And an easy way for me to go over my calories on this is to also add my 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal here, maybe add a tablespoon or so of or 2 of raisins, and I'm already looking at an extra like 100 calories, maybe 100 plus, to add those 2 items as well. If I were to add maybe a toast to this or something, that would add, I mean, so you know, sometimes you just got to, maybe 1 extra egg, 2 eggs here, 1 extra egg is going to be an extra 70 calories. Then that would bring it to like almost 300 extra calories. So it can sneak in, and an egg would have been free. And a tablespoon of raisins, I probably wouldn't have thought that much about it. And then a tablespoon of flaxseed meal. Hey, flaxseed meal is really good for you, right? But you still got to count the calories. So it can add up very, very easily if you're not watching where it's sneaking in. All right, for lunch this day, I'm having 2 Sara Lee breads, 1 Laughing Cow, 3 ounces of chicken breast, and then a tablespoon of cranberries on top, and then some mixed greens, and then some of my 1-point chicken soup, and then I'm having 1 cup of popcorn here, Smart Pop, for a snack with it. Later on, I had a snack of a half of a cup of the Fage non-fat Greek yogurt and 1 teaspoon of the ranch dip mix, and I'm going to have 1 bag of pop chips and some veggies to dip into it. And then dinner time, I wanted to make a quick, kind of like a Zapatipskana soup, and I just kind of sauteed some onions and some of this Jenny O, it's turkey sausage, and 2 cans of chopped potatoes, not tomatoes, and then they're cooked already, so I'm going to use about 1.5 boxes of this chicken broth, and it doesn't take a long time for the potatoes to cook since they're cooked. So this is going to be a kind of a quick soup. We're in a hurry to do some other things. And now I'm adding a half of a cup of half and half. And I am looking to get about 10 1-cup servings at least out of this. And so what I'm going to do is take a little bit of the soup and blend it in here to thicken it, and then I'm going to add it back in. And actually, I should have done this without the meat, but oh well, it worked just fine. And now I'm going to put in a few handfuls of kale and just going to stir it in until it wilts. And then I'm going to serve that up with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, just 2 tablespoons for me and my honey. This is pretty good. It's not really thick like something you get like the one at Olive Garden, but it's pretty good, and my family really liked it a lot. So here it is for dinner, and I have 1/3 of a take and bake, I think that's like a French bread sourdough roll. And these are my my points, not calories, for the day. I'm going to start the next day. Now this is a cutting 500 calories today. Yesterday was 250. So I'm just having a Food for Life bread, 1 egg, 2 egg whites, a cup of mixed berries, some hot tea, and some of the raspberry Bellini, 1 teaspoon of the Skinny Girl jam, which I love, and it is 0 points for that. And if you're interested in the calories, 1 tablespoon is 10 calories, which is not a lot. So, and I don't even have that much. I have like a quarter of that. All right, so lunchtime came around, and I ended up having 1 Olay Extreme Wellness Wrap, 0-point chicken soup, and I'm counting the chicken in there toward my chicken breast that's inside my wrap, with 1 Laughing Cow cheese and this little teaspoon of the mustard from Trader Joe's, bag of pop chips. So altogether I had 3 ounces of chicken breast in here, and this really did the job. So if I look, I've got 1, 2, three, four, five, I think it was 6 points. And dinner is sweet potatoes, green beans, and just a couple of ounces of a meatloaf, low-fat meatloaf. And then I made a dessert. I used the sugar-free Pillsbury cake mix and 4 of these. No sugar peaches, and I just kind of like threw it on top and mixed it in, and it cooked kind of like a dump cake, and we served it with a little light Cool Whip. The kids loved it. All right, this morning I am having my apple pie oats and 1 egg, half a cup of egg whites, and all of this comes out to, I believe it was 6 points, 4 points, oh no, 4 points, and 450 calories. All right, for dinner I had a 3-ounce piece of salmon here, no extra added fat, and 1 cup of this Mediterranean style salad kit here from Trader Joe's. It's 110 calories for 1 cup of it, I think because of the dressing and the toppings, but I'm going to go ahead and take the hit. I've got plenty of calories left over for tonight. The kids are also having this rice, but I'm going to forego the rice because I don't want the extra calories. I'm saving it for my ice cream tonight. We took the kids to Dairy Queen, and my favorite was a small chocolate dipped cone.